Orlando, Dallas, Nice, Mogadishu, Ganzi, Mosul, Boso. Summertime and the living is easy, or not. This summer is my summer to pay attention. Sirte, Istanbul, Abu Ghraib, Warduk, Osaka. In his book 1968, The Year That Rocked the World, Mark Kurlansky writes, "There has never been a year like 1968, and it's unlikely there will ever be again. A time when nations and cultures were still very different, there occurred a spontaneous combustion of rebellious spirits across the world." Dhaka, Aleppo. More than 300 civilians injured or killed in July this year in Baghdad alone. Me, I am living a very, very quiet life. A time for being and healing and noticing. I am re-examining the meditative practice that I have had for more than 30 years. I read a few lines from Thich Nhat Hanh's book, Moments of Meditation, every morning, and some days, moments seem like overachievement. Conventions, candidates, accusations, hate speech, raw racism in real time. Friends tell me that it seems as if road rage is more prevalent in our country right now. I notice it on 680, where I spend an inordinate amount of time this year. While waiting in line at a store counter, I am elbowed out of the way by a large blonde woman. "You people," she hisses. You people? What people? You multiracial, middle-aged, sort of overweight, female-identified people? You yoga pants buying people? Can she smell liberal on me? Does she know that today was the day I forgot to wear my Black Lives Matter bracelet? What? On a plane, a man rushes to be the first off, and when he's stopped by those in front of him, he sticks his backpack and then his derriere inches from my face above my aisle seat. Talking on his phone, he doesn't notice my contortions to gain a polite distance. I am wondering, did I pick the right summer to pay attention? Baton Rouge, Milwaukee. Women I know for weeks have been reliving assaults because of the Stanford case. With all respects for Kurlansky, 2016 is kissing cousins to 1968, and what the author calls rebellious spirits is more like some kind of volcanic rage. Statistically, it is true that the killings are up this summer. Is this an anomaly since in general they've been going down, or is it the beginning of a new trend? Does it matter if you think about the lost potential of even one of the lives that we have lost this summer? The conversations with my friends of color, and especially Black friends, are more than despairing. Pokemon are being found and hearts are breaking all over the place. James Baldwin wrote in that book, The Fire Next Time, "I know what the world has done to my brother and how narrowly he has survived it. And I know which is much worse, and this is the crime of which I accuse my country and my country people, and for which neither I nor time nor history will ever forgive them, that they have destroyed and are destroying hundreds of thousands of lives and do not know it and do not want to know it. Yes, this is the summer to pay attention. I am struck by the unknowing when I'm in certain restaurants or certain places. We are a nation living in parallel universes where our truths never touch. In yoga, where I spent a lot of time this summer, a woman carries on when I take her spot on the floor. I stop posting most personal things on Facebook because it seems disrespectful to my friends who are posting about the agony of their souls. I read and read and read about trauma and what it does to us as a people and as a nation. Trauma dulls us. It binds us to our fears. It takes us out of life and removes us from the realities and beauties that are all around us. After one tragedy, I do put up a brief post that says that I believe that we as a society have invented technologies of destruction that are outpacing our technologies of relationship and communication. News is hard. Eyes, whether laughing or sober, stare at you in a particular way from a digital screen when you know the person has died through an act of violence. The Black Lives Matter movement aims to wake people up to the cumulative effect of the violence against those of African descent in this nation. People tell me it would make them too despairing to know about that. Yes, it hurts to wake up, and it hurts us all a lot more not to. James Baldwin, words, "If we do not dare everything, no more water, the fire next time." Thich Nhat Hanh, we don't have to go anywhere to obtain the truth. We only need to be still, and things will reveal themselves in the clear water of our hearts. I learned this summer that waking up is hard, and it's also worth it. Feeling that pain also allows you to feel the beauty of the world, which is all around us. When you wake up, you realize that a lot of the time you're not even breathing. So I'm going to invite you to breathe now in the spirit of our song and enter back into that spirit of meditation with me if you're willing. Put down what's in your hands. Put down what's in your hearts. And as you breathe, I invite you to be aware right now, aware of where you are in this sanctuary, in this place of beauty. I invite you to feel your feet on the floor or your hands in your lap. I invite you to wiggle a toe or a finger or a nose, your ears if you can. I invite you to notice where your particular discomfort and pain live. If you are Black, Asian, Native American, Latinx, mixed like me, some other combination unknown, of Jewish ethnic heritage, allow yourself to feel where you are holding your fears about our nation and our world. Is it in your chest or in your shoulders? If you are bisexual, gay, lesbian, transgender, or questioning, notice where the heaviness is in you. If you or someone you love works in law enforcement, where does your heart need tending? If you are Muslim or love and respect someone who is, Where does your body tense each time you hear another report? If you are differently abled, where do you ache from being unseen? If you are a traveler of the world or kin to someone who is, where are you holding your fear? If you are a believer in truth and the power of love, where is your disappointment and disillusionment lodged? Find that place in your being and breathe into it. Breathe. And honor that fractured part of your heart broken open. It is still beating, and it is still caring. Breathe into that place. And now I invite you to bring to mind the place in the world that makes you feel the most at peace. Picture what it looks like, what it smells like, what it feels like, perhaps what flavors you associate with it. Perhaps it is one of the many cathedrals which our natural world evangelizes through. Perhaps it is built by human hands and care. Perhaps it is a place that you went this summer, or a place you only went once, but which touched your soul. Take that peace into your heart. Breathe it in like water to the parched places of your being, and breathe it out as a way of loving the world. Breathe in and breathe out. Ta-Nehisi Coates, one of today's gifted Black writers, wrote this to his son: "I am afraid. I feel the fear most acutely when you leave me and walk out our door. But I was afraid long before you. When I was your age, the only people I knew were Black, and all of them were powerfully, adamantly, dangerously afraid. I have seen this fear all of my young life, though I don't always recognize it as such." Thich Nhat Hanh's words: "Don't chase after your heart. Find joy and peace in this present moment." And the voice of Wendy Walter, one of the young Americans of African descent in the collection The Fire This Time, in her essay, Lonely in America. "I realized my loneliness had deeper roots, and it came from having a profound sense of disconnection from what I thought America was and who, in that context, I knew myself to be." It is hard to wake up, to claim all of who you are and all of your life, to find your true voice in all of its strength. It's awkward as well, like walking on the foot that has been asleep, and it's important, so important. It means waking to our own truths and troubles and embracing the truths of others. On the July day when I lost, within a matter of minutes, my keys, my wallet, and my phone all at the same time, I could feel how resistant I was to the waking and the healing. We will, I am sure, be called in the coming weeks to witness by protest and petition, to speak out against hate. We will also be called to teach our children the values that they will not be getting anywhere else but here, the values they need to survive with their hearts still beating, their lungs still breathing. And we also need, in these coming weeks, to spend time just enjoying and having fun together, like going to a baseball game in September, even if the A's aren't your team. We need to cook and meditate and create things together and share food and hike on that beautiful ridge that's just up the hill and walk the labyrinth that was created by loving and hopeful hands. We need to take risks and talk to people in lines and on airplanes. People used to talk to other people on airplanes, you know. We need to read Baldwin and Coates and others. We need to smile more and then dig deep and understand about the political and economic trends that are affecting our neighbors that we haven't really been paying attention to, and that is the focus of the ministers' class this year, which will be on Sunday afternoons. We need to make this sanctuary a place for us and for all that are hurting in our community. And if we are hurting, if we are filled with our own pain here today, we need to understand that our own healing is our best contribution to the peace of the world. In our tradition, we need to ask questions. How can this be a place where we struggle with the technologies of what it means to be truly human? How can we learn and teach here the real art of dialogue? How can we resist and push back on the despair that seeks to paralyze our leaders and stunt the growth of our children and youth? How can we experience and build here the exuberant multiculturalism that helps us understand that we have more to gain than to fear in a world in which we honor multiple voices? How can we create peace in our hearts as a gift to our hurting world? James Baldwin said, "The impossible is the least that one can demand." So do the impossible. Pay attention. Let's stay awake and let's resist despair.